Hello, everyone. Welcome to our special committee of the whole tonight on February 1st, Groundhog Day. I don't know if the groundhog saw a shadow today or not, but hopefully winter's over soon. We have everyone on council present tonight, and this will be a short meeting. Are there amendments to the agenda? Seeing none, any disclosure of monetary interest arising from the agenda? Okay, I'll remind council if something comes up in the in-camera that someone has to declare, please do so, and we'll do that rise and report. There's no delegations. There's no adoption of minutes. I'm told there's no CEO or director's reports this evening, and no correspondence items. So we have an in-camera issue item tonight, and I'll entertain a motion to go in camera. Councillor Allen, second by Councillor McKenna. All in favor? Okay, it'll be like 2 minutes, and I'm told this won't be long, so. Okay, we're back from our in-camera session, and the Rise and Report tonight would be, we discussed some litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting our municipality or our local board, and staff gave us an update on that, and we gave staff direction. So that's the Rise and Report tonight. Moving on, we have no priority issues due to the nature of this meeting. And right now I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Councillor Allen, Councillor McGuire, all in favor? So we're adjourned, and we will not be too very long, 1 minute. And we'll start our council meeting.
Regular meeting of Smith Falls Town Council for Monday, February 1st. We have all members of council here this evening. I have one announcement today, and today is Have a Heart Day. Have a Heart Day is a child and youth-led reconciliation event led by the First Nations Child and Family Caring Society that brings together caring Canadians to help ensure First Nations children have the opportunity to grow up safely at home, get a good education, be healthy, and be proud of who they are. Now, due to COVID-19, the First Nations Caring Society is changing Have a Heart Day this year. The national gathering on Parliament Hill has been canceled in keeping with local health restrictions, and many people across Canada are following public health protocols that significantly limit gatherings. So instead, they're encouraging teachers, students, families, and our households to celebrate Have a Heart Day in classrooms at home or online. Even if we can't gather as we usually do, we can still celebrate the spirit of Have a Heart Day, which is going to be on February 14th. Stand up for love and fairness. Suggestions for participation include send a Valentine's Day card or letter supporting Have a Heart Day to the Prime Minister, your member of Parliament. Create your own card or letter, or get creative using the letter or coloring pages found at the website. Spread the word. Post photos of your Have a Heart letter, cookies, snow bear, or however you choose to celebrate on social media. Use a hashtag Have a Heart Day. Get creative by completing their Snow Bears activity. For more information, see the fnCaringSociety.com website, or making some Have a Heart cookies with your class, group, or family. Host an online Valentine's Day party to raise awareness in schools or in community. Choose a day leading up to Valentine's Day that makes sense for your class or community. Download and edit the Have a Heart poster to use for your event, and be sure to register your Have a Heart celebration. Explore the Have a Heart Day website for more ideas, and download the Have a Heart Day resources. We have no disclosure monetary interest on today's agenda. Hearing none, and no delegations. We have no adoption of minutes tonight. Reports. I assume we have a few reports here. I'll start with Councillor Dwyer, please.
Thank you. Not really actually tonight, but I do understand that our Child Development Center is in the process of trying to figure out Zoom so that we can have our first meeting since COVID. It's been a very, very long time since we've had a meeting. But I think that's more of a reflection on how hard those ladies have been working to adapt the centers to COVID restrictions and continue to provide exceptional childcare during the pandemic to emergency service providers and other primary support workers. So kudos to them, and I look forward to meeting with them again in the not so distant future to talk about moving the center forward.
Great, thank you. Councillor Allen?
I just have one. It's more of an announcement than anything.
Oh, sorry, Councillor, can't hear you very well.
Oh, sorry. Just one. We are in the process of hiring a new head librarian. Most of you know, I think, that Karen is retiring. She'll be very, very much missed, but we're in the process. We have one more week of the ad running, and then we'll be interviewing for that position. So I'll come back with some more information when I have more news. Thanks.
Great, thank you. Councillor McKenna? Nothing this evening. Councillor Alford?
Yes, two this evening, Your Worship. Regarding the DBA, Council may recall that I've reported on DBA's Digital Main Street program in the past. The DBA received a grant of $10,000 to hire staff to administer the Digital Squad program, which is aimed at assisting downtown businesses to increase or enhance their online presence, and successful applicants receive a grant of $2,500 for hardware or software, etc. Anything that would help them enhance their online presence. The first intake ran from December 2019 to March 1st, 2020, just before COVID hit. The Digital Squad assisted applicants to assess their needs and assist them in the application process, which entailed meeting with the applicants, having applicants attend webinars, and supporting applicants through a lengthy application process. In the first round, 104 businesses were met with, resulted in 38 initial digital assessments, and 17 grant applications were submitted. 16 of those were successful and received the $2,500 grant, totaling about $42,500 being invested in those businesses to allow them to take advantage of the tools they need in to answer the demand for communications, advertising, and marketing in an increasingly digital world. In the second round of the Digital Main Street, which began in September 2020 and just concluded December 18th, 2021, this was made even more, in light of the pandemic, was even more important and timely, this round. In this latest round, 93 downtown businesses were contacted, 56 digital assessments were completed or updated, 17 businesses were referred to Shop Here program, and 13 to the Future Proof program, which was programs designed to coach and support their individual business needs. Also, there were 30 grant applications submitted, and I believe there are 28 successful ones, which would mean an additional $70,000 invested in our downtown businesses to help them function more effectively and take advantage of the tools available in an even more digital shopping world, in part caused by COVID. The Digital Squad leader hired by the DBA, Gil Girardeau, was key to success in both of those rounds, but that is over $100,000 that it was invested in our local downtown businesses. Also want to announce that the DBA also has a new coordinator. Aaron Story joined the DBA team this past month. Aaron recently graduated from marketing and advertising communications management and has experience in this type of role, having worked on the Destination Elmont program. So we're very excited to welcome her to the DBA. Second report, Your Worship, well, it's the Smiths Falls local program was organized and delivered by both the Chamber and the DBA together in a collaborative effort. And that program saw different bags every month of beautiful and useful items delivered to those who purchased them. All of the items that are in the bag were bought at local businesses, and so have helped those businesses sustain themselves during the constraints imposed by COVID-19. So far, there have been 270 bags purchased, and the final edition of the Smiths Falls local bags can be ordered up until February the 15th. So all of that money is going directly into local businesses that are using these funds to pay their rent and buy more product and serve the customers that they have. So big thanks to all the local people who are continuing to support it. And lastly, the Chamber is also going live this week with We Shop Smith Falls Local, which is in partnership with the town's ECDEV and tourism department. It's kind of an Amazon type model that allows shoppers to go on a website and choose merchandise from a variety of local businesses. It doesn't take the place of the businesses' individual websites, but rather gathers many businesses together in one marketplace for easy shopping, and another way that we can all support local businesses. So you will soon be able to, or if there are businesses interested in signing up for this, go to weshoplocalsf.com. That's it, Mayor Payko.
Great. Thank you. Councillor Brennan. Nothing tonight. Councillor McGuire.
Thank you, Your Worship. On January 20th, we had our monthly meeting of the Municipal Heritage Committee. Heritage Week is coming up in February, and in preparation, Jenny Davis led an effort with a couple other members to create a heritage scavenger hunt. So this is the follow-up to last year's heritage coloring contest. We thought good excuse to get outside, and they've done really excellent work. It's they've got pictures of different heritage buildings around town, and then there's a clue, and you have to find a heritage attribute or a cornerstone or some kind of unique feature of the building. So that'll be coming out when the lockdown ends. We're going to put a pause on it until then, but should be another exciting Heritage Week activity for kids in Smith Falls. On January 21st, we had our meeting of the Police Services Board. Lots of updates coming through. The end of year number that we've all been waiting to hear was that over 150 letters from kids were sent to the North Pole for Santa this year, and returns. So that's great. And we're expecting a surplus, but the numbers won't be finalized for the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. The step target for December was offenses related to impaired driving and alcohol, and the step target for January was distracted driving and handheld devices. And Constable Tompkins, our community services officer, continues his work. He's really done a great shift to online, doing an internet safety presentation to the grade 6 students at St. Francis, and continuing his in-focus interviews on Lake 88 in your TV, and the mental health follow-up visits. A really neat thing now that we've had the Health IM quarterly reports for a full year is we've got a full year of data. So they've been measuring the call volume, apprehension rate, and average wait time. So it really shows in a tangible way how meaningful an impact this program's having for our residents. And it's another year that the number of mental health calls has exceeded the year before. So all of this will be coming out in the annual report, but just a quick update for today.
Great, thank you very much. I've got a couple of reports myself. Last Tuesday, the 26th, as part of the Roma conference, I participated in a roundtable of a dozen mayors or CIOs from across the province with Ontario Minister of Small Business and Red Tape Reduction, Pradmeet Sarkaria, to discuss opportunities to reduce red tape at the municipal level. And so I'd had, I guess, a lead up to that. Staff had prepared a number of items that they believed could be addressed by the ministry in an effort to try and reduce red tape within the municipal environment. So it was a good opportunity to share those concerns with Minister and staff. That evening, with the support of Economic Development Manager Jennifer Miller, I hosted a virtual roundtable with approximately 25 local businesses. A couple members of council were also in participation. We had reached out to our local business community to gain a better understanding on how businesses are managing through the pandemic, and more specifically during the most recent lockdown. And this was an information gathering opportunity to prepare for a meeting later in the week with Minister Sarkaria. We know the pandemic has been very damaging to so many of our small businesses. We wanted to ensure we could articulate that feedback to the minister. We wanted to make sure we understood the challenges they're facing and any gaps that they identified or we've identified in accessing federal and provincial funding programs. And then on the 28th, Ms. Miller and I met with Minister Sakaria virtually. He and his staff were able to share these concerns and numerous suggestions with him. He was very interested in hearing from our business community, very open to suggestions. We did learn through that meeting on a couple of recent changes that could benefit members of our business community that were not able to access grants before. So these recent changes in the funding programs would enable them to, some people to actually access programs they received they were not able to access before. So it was a great opportunity to share feedback with him. We stressed the great uncertainty that some of our businesses are feeling right now, and really stressed how important it is to, I guess, provide them with a hand up that can enable them to create their own success or a handout to get them through these challenging times. As I said, he was very receptive to the feedback. We are grateful for the opportunity just to meet with him last week. Also last Thursday, I attended the first meeting of the 2021 Eastern Ontario Mayor's Caucus. Mayor Diane Therrien of Peterborough was elected chair. Mayor Brett Prescott was re-elected as vice chair. We received presentations from Debbie Robinson, who is the chair of the Eastern Ontario Wardens Caucus, as well as the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing and the Eastern Ontario Regional Network all brought updates. We collectively had a broad discussion on COVID-19 related challenges to all municipalities and determined that we need a more fulsome discussion on this topic, and we'll reconvene sometime in February to discuss this further. And that's it for my reports. We have some bylaws this evening. Our first bylaw is with Councillor McKenna.
Thank you, Your Worship. This is a bylaw to adopt the estimates of the sums required for municipal purposes for the year 2021. And for those who don't understand that, it's the budget for the town of Smiths Falls for the 2021 year. So this is the third reading, as the first and second reading took place last week. So it's moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Alford that a bylaw to adopt estimates of the sums required for municipal purposes for the year 2021 be now read a third time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 10209 2021.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor McKenna, seconded by Councillor Alford, that a bylaw to adopt estimates of the sums required for municipal purposes for the year 2021 be now read a third time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 10209-2021. I didn't ask for discussion, but I'll ask if anyone would like to speak to the budget before we call the vote. Yes, Councillor Dwyer.
Thank you. Actually, I would just like to call a recorded vote, please.
Great, thank you. Any further discussion? Councillor McKenna?
If I may, just a quick recap of the process, Your Worship. The budget process started several months ago by staff under the leadership of Treasurer Koziel and C.O. Morris. And for council, it started a couple of months ago where we started looking at the first and second draft. I think this budget balances current needs of the 2021 year with an eye to the future with $25,396,000 for operating expenses out of a revenue of $27,740,000. And the future is the transfers to capital reserves of $2.3 million. Our budget spending certainly focuses on police and fire service, public works, operating costs, the strategic priorities and areas identified in our asset management plan, as well as our cost sharing agreement with the County of Lanark for housing, social services, paramedic services, etc. The tax rates, water rates, and increase in property rates is a modest 1.1%, which reflects the current rate of inflation. On behalf of council, I want to thank Treasurer Koziel, all the town employees, my fellow councillors for their efforts, and a special thank you to the Smiths Falls residents who participated in our virtual town hall budget meeting. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Any further discussion? I'll turn it over to our deputy clerk to call the question.
With respect to bylaw 10209-2021, please state yay or nay. Councillor Alford.
Yay.
Councillor Allen.
Yay.
Councillor Brennan.
Yay.
Counselor Dwyer,
Yay.
Counselor McGuire,
Yay.
Counselor McKenna,
Yay.
Mayor Panko.
Yay.
Carried. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Moving on, Councillor Allen, you are up next.
Yes, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Alford that a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council at its meetings held on the 18th and 25th days of January 2021 be received and read a first time and taken as read a second time.
Thank you. Moving Councillor Allen, seconded by Councillor Alford, that a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council at its meetings held on the 18th and 25th days of January 2021 be received and read a first time and taken as read a second time. All in favor? Thank you. Discussion, Councillor Allen?
This is just a procedural requirement that we do for all our meetings. It's something that's just expected.
Thank you. May the third reading, please.
Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Alford that a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council at its meetings held on the 18th and 25th days of January 2021 be received and read a first time and taken as read a second time.
Thank you. Moving Councillor Allen, seconded by Councillor Alford, that a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the council at its meetings held on the 18th and 25th days of January 2021 be now read a third time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 10210-2021. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Councillor McGuire, you've got the next bylaw.
Thank you, Your Worship. 7.3 is moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Allen. That a bylaw to amend bylaw 8712-2014 being a bylaw to establish and regulate the maintenance, operations, and management of the water system and to establish the rates and other service charges for the use of the system be received and read a first time and taken as read a second time.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor McGuire, second by Councillor Allen, that a bylaw to amend bylaw 8712-2014 being a bylaw to establish and regulate the maintenance, operations, and management of the water system and to establish the rates and other service charges for use of the system be received and read the first time and taken as read a second time. All in favor? It's carried. Discussion, Councillor McGuire?
Yeah, so in follow-up to Councillor McKenna's 7.1, this is the cost of living adjustment of 1.1% to the water and wastewater rates for 2021.
Thank you. Any further discussion? May I have the third reading, please?
Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Allen that a bylaw to amend bylaw 8712-2014 being a bylaw to establish and regulate the maintenance, operations, and management of the water system and to establish the rates and other service charges for use of the system be now read a third time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered bylaw 10211-2021.
Thank you. It's moved by Councillor McGuire, seconded by Councillor Allen, that a bylaw to amend bylaw 8712-2014 being a bylaw to establish and regulate the maintenance, operations, and management of the water system and to establish the rates and other service charges for use of the system be now read a third time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered bylaw 10211-2021. All in favor? That's carried. And Councillor Alford, you're up next.
Thank you, Your Worship. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor McKenna, that a bylaw to adopt a tree canopy preservation and enhancement policy for the town of Smiths Falls be read a first time and taken as read a second time.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor Alford, seconded by Councillor McKenna, that a bylaw to adopt a tree canopy preservation and enhancement policy for the town of Smiths Falls be received and read a first time and taken as read a second time. All in favor? It's carried. Discussion, Councillor Alford?
Yes, Your Worship. In this council strategic plan, we wanted to do what we can to protect and enhance the urban forest in our town as a way not only to enhance the quality of life, but also to take steps to mitigate the effects of climate change. So last week, our senior planner, Carl Grenke, gave us an extensive tree policy that we are now adopting tonight.
Thank you. Any further discussion? May I have the third reading, please?
Yes, Your Worship. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor McKenna, that a bylaw to adopt a tree canopy preservation and enhancement policy for the town of Smith Falls be now read a third time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 10212-2021.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor Alford, second by Councillor McKenna, that a bylaw to adopt a tree preservation and enhancement policy for the town of Smith Falls be received and be now read a third time and finally passed, signed, sealed, and numbered 10212-2021. All in favor? That's carried. Okay. We have no miscellaneous motions, inquiries, or announcements. Councillor Alford.
Yes, Your Worship. Just having been able to see the video workshop on implicit bias today. I know some others may have seen it Wednesday. It was making me wonder, how do we have applicants that have applied for a seat on the task force regarding discrimination yet? I know I've seen it advertised a couple times, but I hadn't heard as to whether or not we have any applicants or how many we may have received.
I think Deputy Clerk Bennett is the keeper of that information.
My apologies. I just wanted to make sure that we hadn't got any more applications in. I mentioned to the mayor a couple of weeks ago when we were re-advertising that we had received, I believe it's 4 applications to this committee. I have reached out to the stakeholder groups that are listed in the terms of reference. We did receive feedback from the Smith Falls Police Services, and my understanding is that there are applicants coming forward from the local schools. So I just wanted to give that another week, and then I can ask Director Costello to bring that forward under her director's reports at Monday's Committee of the Whole meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? No, I just think we're going to turn it over to Councillor McGuire for this week's trivia question.
Great, thank you, Your Worship.
Everyone ready?
So this week, we had a street in town that used to be called Corey Street, and I'm wondering what the name of it is today. So this street had a farm implements factory on it. It also had a fertilizer plant that sounds explosive based on the chemicals in the book they were using. And Councillor McKenna?
Center Street?
No. It also runs parallel to the Canadian Northern Railway. Used to have a Kingdom Hall of Jehovah Witnesses and a bottling plant, and it's about
Abbott Street. Abbott Street.
Smith Falls' most famous right-hand turn lane. So yeah, Abbott Street. We get the Lombard-Abbott intersection done. So Abbott Street used to be Corey Street. I couldn't figure out why they changed it, but it was interesting to see. It was pretty industrial-looking place where now it's pretty residential. So
Great, thank you very much.
Good question, Chris.
Yeah, tough one. Volunteer for next week. Councillor Brennan volunteers. Thank you. Okay.
Councillor Dwyer was going.
Or Councillor Brennan, were you putting your hand up for adjournment or volunteering?
No volunteer.
Okay.
I'll get a good one.
Okay. You also have the adjournment.
Yeah. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Dwyer, that this council adjourn its proceedings at 5:51 and stand so adjourned until the next duly called meeting of council.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor Brennan, seconded by Councillor Dwyer. This council adjourns proceedings at 5:51 p.m. and stands so adjourned until the next duly called meeting of council. All in favor? Have a good evening, everyone.